Hey guys, it's your favorite Unc here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories. Ocho, we had a game and it came right down to the last. It took Zane Gonzalez's field goal to get the Falcons over the hump, 29-28 over the Buccaneers. First Cousins was sensational tonight. 30 of 44, 373, 3 touchdowns. All 3 of those touchdowns went to Kyle Pitts Sr., 11 catches, a $166, 3 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson had 8 catches for 82 yards, a long of 21. David Seals V had 6 for 78. He should have had a touchdown. I don't know who taught him to catch a ball like that, Ocho. I don't know who taught him how to catch a football. But anyway, we're going to get this. But anyway.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield was 19 of 34, 277, 2 touchdowns, 1 very, very costly interception. They didn't run the ball as well as I thought they would, 22 carries for 88 yards. Mike Evans came back his first game back and seemed like almost 3 months. 6 catches, a $132, 45-yard long, 12 targets. I thought Atlanta's defense played exceptional tonight. Look, they gave up some yards, but they got after Baker Mayfield's ass. They were they was on him. If you didn't know, you thought it was a lion pride attacking a wildebeest. That's how they were trying to drag him down, Ocho. And they got him 5 times. They picked him off once. But it was a very interesting game. Ocho, watching this ball game, what did you like about what you saw from the Atlanta Falcons?
Hey, listen, normally when we talk about the Atlanta Falcons, the one thing that we do talk about, is we talk about their offense. We talk about their offense. Drake London, obviously Drake didn't play tonight, but Kyle Pitts, his emergence and looking like the number 1 pick that he is. And I'm not sure why they don't use him as often and create plays as big and talented as he is. He's a mismatched nightmare for any defense you get out there. There are not very many corners or linebackers that can cover him. So I'm not sure why he's not implemented into the offense more. So he has the type of statistical nights like they did. Kirk Cousins, listen, I'm not sure if he can do it every single game.
If you protect him, he can.
Listen, if you protect him, he can. But this is what you can get from Kirk Cousins, which is why I think the Atlanta Falcons even got him in the first place, despite drafting,
Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix Jr.
And you got him, Ocho. Not to cut you off, you got him after he came off an Achilles tear at the later stages of his career. Go ahead.
Exactly, knowing what he can do, and being a thrower of the ball. But they look good. The defense had Baker Mayfield uncomfortable from the beginning of the game, from the start of the game. He was very jittery. He had happy feet. They caused him to miss some throws. They batted a few balls down. Obviously, he had an interception as well, but Baker had 277 yards, Bunk. He didn't look like the Baker Mayfield that we saw early in the season when they were stringing off win after win after win. With Emeka Egbuka, playing really well with in the absence of Mike Evans. They didn't look the same. But this was a really good defensive game, and it came down to the wire, and they should have lost the game too, honestly.
The Falcons?
Yes.
Yeah.
They should have lost this game.
Yeah.
They had 9 penalties. I think
they had 19 accepted penalties.
Oh, 19.
19 accepted penalties.
Hold on, 125 yards?
Yes.
That's a tall tale of
They accepted 19. They declined a few more. Right. And see, that's the problem. See, Raheem is coaching like he knows something that we don't. Like he got job security for at least another year or two. Because first of all, now you look at the record, they're 5-9. Okay, the record is not, I'm sure, and I know Mr. Blank a little bit. We used to work out at the same place. You go to Pilates, and so I have a very great relationship with Mr. Blank.
Yeah.
But he can't be pleased with the record, considering the amount of money that he's paying. He drafted a quarterback, paid Kirk Cousins a lot of money. You have 19 penalties. One or two things. Your team is undisciplined. Which negatively reflects on the coach. We got a bad record. Our team is undisciplined because you coach it or you condone it, which in either case I place on your shoulders. And then you make a bonehead play. You're down an even number and you go for 2. Because if you get missing, guess what you have to do, Ocho? You have to chase it. Now you got to hope your defense, and Tampa did them a favor.
Yes.
Baker was a little behind Abuka because he had a step on him and he threw it behind him, which is a hard catch to make when you're running full speed and running this way, and you got to open up this way, and the defender's right there on you. And as soon as the ball hits your hand, he tackles you. So that's a very difficult catch to make. The Bucs made it very easy, but the Falcons are a very undisciplined team. They're a very undisciplined team. If Kirk Cousins doesn't play out of his mind, they're losing this game.
They lose that game, yeah.
Bijan, now what people are going to start to see, like, he'll put it on the ground for us. He'll give us an opportunity.
You got to hit him.
Back-to-back weeks, you've done this.
Yeah, you got to hit him, Monk. Put a hat on him. Listen, you wearing pads for a reason. Put a hat on him, he gonna cough it up. Because once you put it on film, Monk. Then I was just saying, once you put it on film and they understand, okay, we can get that ball up off of him, all you got to do is put a hat on him and rake at it. Rake at it. Put a hat on him, it's going to come out.
Falcons 27 first down. They were 5-11 on third down, 1-1 on fourth down. They had 66 total plays, Ocho, 476 total yards. They had 10 drives, 7.2 yards per play. Again, Cousins had 365 yards passing. The biggest play he made is that when he sacked and somehow he I got to get this damn ball back. And he ended up getting it back. They had 111 yards rushing, but 19 penalties. Think about it.
That's a lot,
team
boy.
Come to your building. They have 19 accepted penalties.
Yes.
For 125 yards. A turnover, and they still beat you.
Yeah. Not supposed to happen.
Atlanta, look, the defense, I thought the defense played well. Look, Tampa has some very talented receivers. You look at Mike Evans comes back. Chris Godwin had a sighting tonight. Right. He's rounding back into shape. We know, but Abuka hadn't been the same since he kind of tweaked that. I think it was a groin or maybe a hamstring. He really hasn't been the same. Bucky Irvin just came back. Because they normally run the ball a little better than what they did, but I got to give Atlanta credit because they brought pressure on the biggest third down basically of this ball game. They brought a safety blitz. Bates Jr. Bates the third made him step up, and they got him. He almost got out of there, Ocho.
Yeah,
he almost got out of there.
Almost.
But that was some big cojones to say, you know what, y'all, hey, you're one-on-one outside. But Mike Evans was giving A.J. Terrell. They had Bryant on him. Bryant was slip sliding like he was on the water, like he was on a banana peel. He was slip sliding all over the place. He said, "Nah, hey, Terrell, you got him." He was giving Terrell the business, and then they would go to Chris Godwin, and then they go to Buka. So we only look. Everybody ain't got 2 or 3 great corners. Now Philly got a situation where they got 2. But that third one, he gets it handed to him, Adoree Jackson. Most teams just have one solid corner and a good one. So if you got a couple of good receivers, it could be a long night for the defense. But if Kirk Cousins, Ocho, he played out of his mind tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
He played out of his damn mind, and he has that ability. If you protect him, if you let him set his feet, if he drops back there on that field, he can do this. Oh, he gonna light your ass up.
He's surgical, and listen,
you better get him off that mark.
Listen, he not going nowhere. I mean, this is how he was before his Achilles injury. You know.
Yes.
You let him sit back there. Listen, he like a goddamn surgeon, huh? He will dissect your whole. He will dissect your whole defense, and he's surgical with that goddamn football.
Yes.
Until you make him uncomfortable, and you get him out the spot. If you don't get him out the spot, these are the type of nights that Kirk Cousins can have consistently. And honestly, even with drafting Michael Penix Jr., your security blanket was Kirk the whole time. Once they made the switch at quarterback and decided to move on, because they understood the history of Michael Penix Jr. All right, there's a chance that he might not be available.
That's why I'm shocked, Ocho. Given his history, he's injury prone.
But you can't leave him on the board, huh? If you're in that war room, it's all about the next best player, and you understand Kirk Cousins. You know what he can do. He's put it on film. Okay, you know what? We going to get Kirk, but the next best player on the draft board was Michael Penix Jr. So he was a security blanket. So when things didn't go well for Kurt and you switch quarterbacks, okay, we still gonna keep Kurt because we also understand that hell, Michael Penix Jr. got a goddamn injury history too.
I give you a choice. I give you Bo Nix or I give you Michael Penix Jr. Who you taking?
Based on what we saw,
Based on right now, what you know right now between both quarterbacks, Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr.
Based on what we know right now, we're going Michael Penix Jr. I mean,
Boy,
excuse me,
we're
going Bo Nix. My bad. Yeah, we're going Bo Nix. But also, you have to remember
because of the injury history, I'm leery.
Oh, okay,
I'm leery.
okay.
And we're going to talk about your quarterback because he had the same kind of history, also coming out of college.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about your quarterback in Cincinnati. Ocho, Kyle Pitts Sr. is the first tight end to have 150 plus receiving yards and 3 TDs in a game since who, Ocho?
Hey, since Shannon Emmanuel Sharpe.
Hey, y'all keep on sleeping on me. Y'all just think I'm a podcaster. But
yeah.
The shirt said it. I was hell when I was well.
Yeah. You was that boy now. That's one thing about it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I lie for you before I lie to you. But when you play that game of football in between those, on that green grass, boy, you was hell now. Yeah, you was him. You was him.
Nah, but see, Ocho, we talked about this. We had Kyle Pitts on this summer, and he was very excited. Mm-hmm. And I understand this is the first night. He didn't have any drops. They didn't throw it to him, and he threw it back at them. Tonight, he was a receiver. He wasn't a retriever. He played his ass off. For him to be as big as he is, I don't know if you've ever seen him up close and personal, but he is a large-ass man. He like 6'6".
Yeah,
and the fluidity in which he can move. He doesn't move like he's not cumbersome. He moves with fluid. He moves with grace. When I saw him in Florida, I say this guy, and he was more of an F. And he's still an F. I mean, his blocking, and I tweeted like, bro, that combo, you got more time than you think on that combo block. He ended up getting the left tackle, Jake Matthews, a holding call because he didn't give enough on that combo block so Jake could work his hips around and get and hook him. But that's neither here nor there. Tonight is what I see in Kyle Pitts. Now, I'm not saying, Ocho, you and I both know, everybody knows he's not going to have a game like this every damn game. But to see what the potential is, he has the ability to, a couple of times a year, have a game like this. He has the ability to get you 6, 7, 8, 9 catches for 75, 80, 90 yards and a touchdown here and there. That 5 for 35-ish, he's too good for that.
But
he's way too good for that.
But that the onus and that and being used and being put in the right positions, the onus is that's on the offensive coordinator. That's on the offensive coordinator understanding what you have at your disposal. That's understanding. Listen, putting him in positions, moving him around, and creating those mismatches for him. There is no one out there that can cover him in one-on-one situations, which most of the time he will be in because the running back is having success in the backfield. Yeah. Because Bijan is such a double threat, such a dual threat outside of running the ball, he can catch it out the backfield as well. So Kyle Pitts is going to get those mismatches. There's no nickel corner. There's no DB, and ain't no goddamn safety that can cover Kyle Pitts one-on-one. So to me, obviously, common sense and logic, understanding what he can do, he should be able to have games like this consistently. Even if it's not back to back to back. Hell, maybe every other week.
Well, I think I had this game. I think I had this game in 1996. So that just goes to show you talking about damn near 30 years that somebody's had that many yards, 150 plus yards and 3 touchdowns in a game. Now you know your boy. I put the thing together like that. Now once upon a time, Ocho. But your boy got old and all of a sudden. Plus, I had Rod develop, and he came along, and he supplanted your boy as the number 1, and so I had to go to number 2, and then get the same opportunities. Kirk Cousins, in his last 3 games against the Buccaneers, Ocho, he's 3-0, 1,158 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 INT.
In 3 games?
In 3 games. So he's basically averaging 385 yards a game.
That's nasty work. That's nasty work. That's good work. And that's what you want from someone that you're paying that kind of money. Someone that you're paying that kind of money. Obviously, he was on the bench, but that's our safety net. Yeah. That's our safety net. So now I understand, for those who didn't understand why they did it, now you get it when you see him have games like this. Because we used to seeing him have games like this when he was with the Commanders. You saw him have games like this when he was with Minnesota. This is what you get.
This is also what Mike saw when he drafted him. Remember, they took RG3 the second pick in the draft, and Mike still took Cousins because he believed that he could run this offense. He processes information very quick. Now, he's not as mobile as you would like West Coast quarterbacks. When you look at the old school West Coast quarterbacks, you look at Montana, you look at Young, you look at Elway, you look at Favre, you look at Rod, you look at the guys, McNabb, you look at guys that play in this system. He's really the only stationary guy that they have. But because he can get the ball out of his hand extremely quick, because he processes information really well, because that's what you got to do in the West Coast. Because a lot of stuff, Ocho, is quick stuff. We run shallow crawls, we run bubble screens, we know things like that, things that are extension of the run game. Because most West Coast teams didn't have a Terrell Davis. They didn't have a guy that could go get you 1,700 rush yards in a season. They had guys that could get you 1,000, maybe 1,100, but they would also catch you 30, 40, 50 balls like Roger Craig did when he went 1,000 and 1,000. That's mostly what the West Coast backs are. And you see, look at Saquon. You see what Saquon did in that West Coast, basically that West Coast system?
Oh, yeah.
So when you look at it, I was like, okay. But I need somebody to explain it to me. And I ain't talking about no analytics because you mofos couldn't play football. Y'all try to infringe on the game saying this is what you should do. Yeah. You should not go for effing 2 when you're down an even score game. I get it if you're down 15, Ocho. I get that. Because you're going to have to go for 2 at some point. Yeah. Yeah. But when you're down an even score, Ocho, you're down. You score a touchdown, you kick the PAT. Guess what, Ocho? I'm down 7. Yeah. Score again, kick a PAT, we tied.
And listen, you see the way you just explained that? You see the way you just explained that? Now, I'm not sure if you're understanding. Hey, Chad, I'm not sure if you guys are paying attention. We've seen all these different scenarios where there have been lapses in judgment and logic and obviously common sense when it comes to coaching decisions, you know? And again, the knock is coming at the door, but you're not answering it, and you being a coach, okay? Now, again, this is another example of you being in a position in allowing the NFL itself and players to have opportunity to be coached extremely well with structure and discipline. That's something that you can provide, but you choose not to answer the call or the knock that's coming at the door. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. Let me know, because I can put it in words in. Hey, no, listen to me now. There's a coaching. There's a coaching vacancy open down there in Ann Arbor. And those
nah. Based on my track record and what just transpired, they came to mind and they just go ahead and deny it. they already went ahead and put denied.
Okay.
But Ocho, looking at Cousins, let me ask you a question. Let's be real. We can be real here.
Come on.
How different you think the season would be for the Falcons if Cousins had started instead of Penix Jr.?
Oh, you know what? You know, Unc, that's a great one. That's a great one. That is a great one. Would it have been any different? How many games could Kirk Cousins have strung along? How many games could he string along back to back that looked like this? How consistent could he have played for the Atlanta Falcons to help when the coaches had lapses in judgment and some of the things that he did? With the team being as undisciplined as they are, will Kirk Cousins be able to save them every single night when they make bonehead decisions to leave points on the field like they did today, but still manage to win the game? How many games can Kirk Cousins save the team when they have 19 penalties for 100 and some goddamn yards, and he has to come save the day and be Superman?
I look at it like this. He was the only quarterback that they have on that roster that could have saved them tonight. Yeah. I don't believe Michael Penix Jr. win this game. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, I don't know if there's – I can't recall a team having this many penalties. I know I've never played on a team that had this many penalties, and I can't recall off the top of my head. Ash, put this in my notes. When the last time somebody had 19, or when the last time somebody had 20 or more penalties in a game? I can't recall off the top of my head, Ocho. But
with that being said, it's still one, and still one at that.
When I look at it like this, I thought this year would have been a better year if you're going to start for Cousins, because guess what, Ocho? He's a year further past removed from that surgery. So now he's in his second year. So now he feels a little better. Look, his arm is what it is. Ain't nothing wrong with his arm. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He doesn't. But I tell you what, he throws with great anticipation. Now, Bijan Robinson, the one that he caught on third down, bro, all you had to do is do that in the first half. I'm trying to figure out why you pulled up. They played it off. They blew the coverage. The guy retreated, and the guy stayed inside. All you got to do is break away. Cousins point as if you're going to break away, and you pull up, and he's looking at you like,
listen,
what?
listen. When he look at film, he be like, oh goddamn. Oh goddamn! I got to be able to read that better. And obviously, once you come off the ball, you can see it because I saw it right from jump. Go ahead and take that thing all the way outside.
Yes,
it's not zone. It's man.
No,
it's wide open. It's ready for you. That would have been an easy catch, and you turn right up on the field and get as much as you can.
Ocho, tonight was the fourth tied for the fourth most penalties in a game by a winning team. The Raiders had 23 penalties in a game and won in 2016. The Browns had 21 penalties and won the game in 1951. The Jets had 20 penalties in a game in 2013 and won the game. And the Falcons, Eagles, the Falcons did it tonight, had 19 and won the game. The Eagles had 19 in 1988 and won the game. And the Cowboys had 18 in 2015 and won the game. Look, no, I'm not saying, look, Ocho and I are not saying that Kirk Cousins, nobody in the history of the game is going to throw for 376 yards and 3 touchdowns every game. Even when Peyton Manning threw for 55 touchdowns in the NFL record, he didn't throw for 376 and 3 touchdowns every single game.
No.
There are some games that he threw for 4, some games he threw for 1, some games he threw for 7. Understand that. But his ability, and Ocho, he did this without Drake London.
Oh, yeah.
He did this without Drake London. If you could protect him, if you could protect Cousins, and that's always going to be the issue. If, and I know. Look, it's the largest, smallest word in the English language.
Yes, sir.
But when he's protected, he is surgical.
Hey.
Because he processes information extremely well. Extremely well. You have to get him a quarterback that's stationary, Ocho. If you don't get him off that mark, he'll carve your ass up
every time.
He'll have you looking like the Halloween pumpkin. He'll carve your ass up. And I'm surprised that Tampa's defense gave up the kind of yardage that they did. Now, they started trying to blitz him on that last drive. They got to him a couple of times. They got the ball out of his hand. I thought one time they hit Cousins in the face, and they got him for an intentional grounding, but they hit him in his face before he did an intentional grounding. They didn't call it. You're not going to be able to see everything. I only saw it because they showed it on replay. But the officials, the referee, that's his job. His job to look at the quarterback. But tonight was Atlanta's night. Tonight was Atlanta's night. I was surprised. I was like, and when Bijan fumbled that ball, I was like, bro, bro, you're developing a habit that you don't want, because guys are going to start tackling the ball.
Not worried about you.
They're not. They're going to start tackling the ball, bro. That's twice in back-to-back weeks. You done coughed it up. And you don't want that problem. You don't want that problem. But the Atlanta Falcons moved to 5-9, 29-28, thanks to a walk-off field goal by Zane Gonzalez. And guess what, Ocho? Your team, the Carolina Panthers, are in first place in the NFC South.
Listen. I'm. You know what? I'm not even gonna take credit.
You ain't gonna take credit?
No, you know what? I'm not gonna take credit. I'm just telling you, as a person that watches football, that most people probably wouldn't be the first to listen to when it comes to my takes on the game, unless it has something to do with playing the position of wide receiver or maybe defensive back.
No,
but
as a whole, your opinion, you based on what you know, how you played in the league. You know how teams put together. You watch them in the preseason. You like the additions that they have. You like McMillan. You like Bryce Young. He finally figured it out. Hopefully Leggett can get it together. They signed Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard. Defensively, they're really good defensively.
I mean, I listen. I saw it. I saw it. I felt it.